Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the dis and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. Looking forward to seeing you there.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday at 2 p.m. on 10/20. There are 11 days left in October as the end of the month fastly approaches. We are live on the Disability Global Broadcast and also on Facebook Live. You can catch us at the disabilityglobalbroadcast.com to listen live on the radio. Hey, Cindy, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to take a couple of minutes to welcome everybody to the show. As you notice, I'm by myself today, and I decided to do this show. I say, don't complain, just change. Now, I know that we all face challenges in our life. I know that every single person on the planet faces all kinds of challenges. Some challenges we can get through, some challenges take us a little bit, and some challenges we even get stuck on. To be honest, I've complained. I've complained a lot. But to be honest with myself, and to be honest with the rest of the world, once you get the problem out and once you acknowledge what the problem is that you're facing, what does complaining really do? See, the problem is it doesn't do anything but hurt you and make it worse, because when you complain, you can go into different scenarios and you can say, well, if this was different, or if I would have done this, or if I would have gone here, you can second guess yourself. Hey, Nikki, how are you? I've gone through the whole, complaint syndrome of, and let me reiterate one thing. It's okay to complain for a little bit. But when you complain all the time about how bad your life is, how you wish you were somewhere different, how nobody loves you, everybody hates you, I'm going to eat a worm, that type of thing, and you're just so miserable, okay, because you want things to change, all right? But if you don't put in the effort to change those type of things, things are going to stay where they are. I've heard people say, and I'm not trying to get religious on the show, I've heard people say, I'm waiting on God to do this for me. I understand. I have a lot of faith in God, and I know exactly what God can do because he's done some miracles in my life too. But the one thing that I want to say, if you don't put your faith into action and you don't work and put some works in motion, faith without action is dead. Okay? And that's kind of where I'm coming from. So you got these complainers that mope around all the time. And all they do in every Facebook post, every Instagram post, every YouTube post, every blog post, negative, 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 I, blah, blah, blah. They blame everybody else but themselves. Okay? They want something to change. They want a new car, but they don't save money. They want a new house, but they don't save money. Or they don't have a job. Or they don't have an income, but yet they blame everybody else but themselves. I look at my life and I got to say, I'm pretty thankful that I'm where I'm at. I'm not the richest man in the world, but I am very rich in friends and people who care about me and know that I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on. So here's the thing. When you want something to change in your life, there are 5 steps that you take. Usually, I don't have to get past number 4. Okay. I think I've only had to get to 5 one time. Okay. Number one, first and foremost, pray about it. Okay. I'm not saying if you believe in God, pray to God. If you believe in Buddha, pray to Buddha. Whoever you believe in, pray to that faction. Okay. Not trying to convert you, not trying to slip you in one way or the other. Pray about it. 2, believe and speak that things are going to change. Now, I want to speak on this for a minute because I got to bring up again Winnie Wilson. The reason I say this, in the 5 years that I've known her, I very rarely, if at all, have heard her speak negatively about anything. And what I love about her is in the darkest of situations, she can turn and find the positive in the darkest of situations. I want to make this perfectly clear on this show right here. Okay. This is not necessarily just a cerebral palsy issue. This is an everyday life issue. Okay. So this is not just dealing with cerebral palsy. If you speak something into action with your mouth in a negative fashion, you give the enemy power. And you have to be careful because I'm not just talking about Satan. Okay. There are other pieces and sections of negativity that you give negativity power and you're in trouble. Okay. Because you're starting to go down that slippery slope where you're like, well, wait a minute now. I don't know. I don't know how it got so bad so fast. Words are powerful. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Hope you're enjoying your conference. When you give the enemy power by speaking negative into action, that's where the start needs to stop. Okay, words are powerful. Okay, you need to remember to speak positive affirmation, positive action, and positively speak things into your life instead of negatively. So we've got pray about it to whoever you believe in, whatever God you believe in, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's Buddha, Christ, whoever you believe in. All the Allah, whoever it is. Hey, Virginia, how are you? And you look at it now. Now, 2, again, speak positive affirmation into your life. Okay. 3, and this one, a lot of people stumble on. You've got to believe in your own worth. Now, what does that have to do with don't complain, just change? Okay, there's a couple of things that I want to go into about this. When you believe in your own worth, now understand, there's a difference between worth and hype. Okay, people can hype something up, and that can be good. That can be great for a little while. But your own worth is different than hype. Okay, when you know you are valuable and you realize you are going after something to change it for the positive in your life, when you make that effort to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for instance, you are trying to move out on your own. You've been living with your parents for, I don't know, let's say you're 25 and you're about to move out on your own. You're about to go to college. Okay. And it's time to make that decision. Now, there's a couple things that you've got to do. You got to pray about it. You got to speak positive affirmation into your life. Okay. You've got to know your own worth, but you've also got to plan it out. Okay. And the way you plan it out is research. Okay. You can't just move into a cardboard box. Okay. You got to look at what you want, what you can afford. How much income do you have coming in after your bills are paid? Okay. A budget. That's number 4. A budget can help you in a situation no matter what situation you're in. I don't care if it's a car, a dog, a house, a cat. If you want to buy groceries, you've got to budget it out. And if you don't budget it, you're going to run into this. Oh, I just put it on my card and pay it later. Okay. A lot of people have credit cards. They think plastic solves the problem. Plastic doesn't solve the problem. Plastic makes the problem worse. Because if you ain't got the money to pay for it right now, you don't really need it. Okay. I had $15,000 in debt in 2 years. When I was 21, I did some stupid stuff. Okay. I did some stuff that I shouldn't have done. I didn't know how to spend my money. I didn't know how to manage my money. I didn't know how to set up a plan until I went into debt. I reconsolidated that debt. I got a lump sum through a great company called Youre. That was the company that helped me get out of debt. I was out of debt in 2.5 years. One lump payment, consolidated everything, did it, lost all my credit cards, killed my credit, had to build my credit back up. I know what I'm worth, okay? This is important. When you look at your life, anything that you do, any goal that you set, whether it's I'm going to walk from one side of the room to the other, I'm going to make this simple, okay? Again, this show is not necessarily about CP. This is a life show. This is a get up off your and realize this has got to happen. Now, as said before, you've got to know your worth. What I mean by that is you've got to believe in yourself and the actions that you set forth. Sometimes in life, you have to start small. Sometimes in life, you've got to realize, look, all right, this is the goal I want to set. How do I get there? You're not going to jump at the goal all at once. You're not going to arrive at the goal, boom, bang, I'm there, okay? It's the small steps and the little things that make the bigger steps easier, okay? What do I mean by this? People want to lose weight. What's the first thing they do? They go on a crash diet and drink water. Okay? They start losing and then they plateau. They freak out. They think, oh God, I'm not losing weight anymore. You know, they don't drink enough water. They look at, you've got to look at really what's involved in this plan. Now, I said earlier, it does not matter how small the task is. It does not mean that that task is insignificant. Okay? One of my first goals was to walk straight across the room on my crutches. Well, in order to walk straight, what's that involve? That involves the first step. Okay? The first step you take has got to be in the right direction. That's number 4. The first step you take has got to be in the right direction. So let's go back over the 3. Pray about it to whoever you pray to. Speak positive action and affirmation into your life. 3, you've got to plan it out. No matter how big it is, you got to budget it. You got to look at it as a whole. You got to plan it out. Okay, you got to break it down. 4, the first step you take has got to be in the right direction. This one right here is not easy, because this is where you get every Tom, Dick, and Harry trying to tell you, this is how you should do it. This is where you should go. This is what you should do. What I did was, da 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 da. And you get thousands of people and people all over everywhere trying to give you advice from every facet of every person, and it gets jumbled in your brain. Remember, I said you've got to know your worth. Okay? We talked a little bit about this. Edwina Wilson's a couple of phrases that she always says is know your worth and understand that your voice and you are valuable. Okay? So when you go through life, one of my first goals was to walk, I believe it was 10 steps across the room. 10 steps, 15 steps, something like that. But I wanted to walk straight. But people forget about, or people may forget about, the first step they take. So as long as your first step that you take is a positive one in the right direction, in the path that you're going, it doesn't matter how small. Okay? Number 5, there are no small accomplishments. I have heard this from so many people. Celebrate the little things. Enjoy those little moments. See, the thing about life is full of little moments. Okay? And sooner or later, as these little moments go through, hey, Shayna, how are you? Thanks for tuning in, sweetheart. As these little moments go through and you get, 5 or 6 little moments and it starts building into a bigger moment, you realize very quickly that those little moments add up. Think about this. You find a quarter on the ground. That's 25 cents. You find a dime on the ground. That's 35 cents. You find a nickel on the ground. That's 40 cents. 2 pennies, 42. Every little bit adds up. Okay? You cannot forget the little things, because there are no little accomplishments. Okay? Your mindset cannot be small. You have got to value yourself, know your worth, and dream big. There's a couple more that I'm going to go into throughout this broadcast. And the reason that I'm saying this in Don't Complain, Just Change, this is all part of it. But out of everything I just said, probably the biggest piece out of all of this is right up here. This 9.5-pound gland called a brain. Your mindset is crucial to anything that you want to accomplish in your life. Your mindset is crucial to the point where you have to wake up. You got to start from the beginning positive. Remember, I said earlier in the broadcast, start positive. You got to speak positive affirmation. Okay? Don't just speak it. Live it. Okay? Because your faith and your hope and your faith is going to carry you through what you're going to get to. Okay? Because you got to start somewhere. You can't be in a negative place and accomplish something from a positive in a negative situation. You can find it and you can do it, but your mindset at that time has to change. The biggest thing that people do when they're trying to set a goal is what stops them is 2 things. They tell them they set themselves up to fail, and they let other people influence them in a negative way and shut them down. We as people throw some of the biggest obstacles in the way of ourselves in this world. Okay? I told you before, one of my first goals was to take 15 steps across the room on my crutches. I started with one step. I started with somebody holding on to me. Then I got to 2 steps. Okay. Then I worked in therapy. Then I got to 5 steps. Hey, Josh, how are you, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You look at your life and you look at the little accomplishments as they continue to add up and as they continue to grow. Your mind and your heart have to be in the same spot. Okay? You cannot fight against yourself. We are our own worst critic. That's exactly right, Ms. Wilson. As I said, to go back across these 5 things real quick, pray about it to who you pray to. Okay? Speak positive affirmation in your life. Don't bring that negative junk up in here. 3, okay? Plan it out. You've got to plan it out. You've got to break it down, plan it out. 4, your first step has to be your step in the right direction on the path that you're going on. 5, celebrate the little things. Celebrate those little moments, because those little moments, there's nothing small in this world, too small in this world to celebrate. When you are happy, and you are doing good, what's good for you. And let me say this. Sometimes, folks, focus on you. Focus on you. Stop worrying about what everybody else is telling you. You definitely have to keep the negativity out of your mouth. Before Miss Wilson got up here, I'm not sure if she just jumped up here, but I said one of the most positive things about this lady in the 5 years coming on next, I guess I don't know if this September's 5 years or not. Lord Jesus. I'm getting old, y'all. Time getting away from me. But look, this lady here, in the 5 years I've known her, I don't think I've ever heard her speak negatively. If I have, it's very simple. You got to keep the negative stuff out of your mouth, because when you put it in there, you're giving the enemy, whatever enemy that is, power. Words are power. We've said that. Words are powerful and words are power. Remember, okay, your mindset is important, okay? When you get out of bed, from the moment you start your day and you open your eyes and you take that first breath, you have got to start in a positive mindset. Very important to celebrate the small milestones. Because to tell you the truth, if you get 3 small things, wait a minute now, you broken through, you learn how to, let me give you an example. Shayna learned how to brush her teeth by herself. That's no small feat. When you got polymyositis and your muscles going every which way and you dropping toothbrushes and dripping toothpaste every which way, look, you got to take what you can get, okay? Be thankful for what God, and I'm saying what works for me, okay? God works for me. Whoever works for everybody else, let that be known. But I'm telling you, God is good in my life all the time, and God works for me. When God gives you the opportunity to brush your teeth by yourself, be thankful for it and thank Him for it, and realize that that's okay to be happy over a small goal. Because if you take your life and you say, wait a minute, I learned to brush my teeth by myself, that's not a small goal, because you're putting your independence into action. Now I'm going to say that again. There's no small goal, because when you accomplish something for you that God gives you and allows you to have, you are putting your independence into your own action. Now I'm going to drop the bombshell. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the bombshell? I'll never get there. I can't get to that point. It's too big. It's too big. Let me explain this in the only way I know how. Watch this, Miss Wilson. Nothing is too big for God. Nothing is too big for God. So wait a minute, let's turn this around. Wait a minute, if there's nothing too big for God and you go to him with your faith and you go to him with your action and you're seeking him, doesn't that also mean there's nothing that you can't accomplish with him by your side? Wait a minute now. Did we just flip it around? What just happened? You see, it's all in how you look at the situation. When something is big, make it smaller. Break it down into pieces. You can't build Rome in a day, but you can put down the first block of foundation. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere, okay? But be happy and remember where you start and why. Remember where and why you start. Boy, where have I heard that before? Woo! Y'all get me preaching up in here. I'm telling you. And you got to understand this is passion coming out, guys, because I've seen people say, I failed. I failed. Listen, let me explain something to y'all. There's no such thing as failure in this world. Y'all hear what I just said? Y'all still with me, right? There's no such thing as failure in this world. What failure is and what failure turns out to be, now this is just me. If it works for you, you may be different. But let me tell y'all something. Failure is not, I didn't do it right. Failure is, I've got to look at maybe a different way of doing things. A different way of doing things. Let me pop this up here. Miss Wilson said this. To begin, it all has to begin with a renewed mindset and preparation. We talked about this for the goal you set before you. Remember, in those top 5 things, I said you got to plan it out. When you want a house, you got to budget. When you want a car, you got to budget. When you want groceries, you got to budget. You got to plan it out. I like that, Nikki. Drop the T and get it done in my DJ Carter voice, she said. That's true. You have got to take can't away, okay? Because can't should not be in your vocabulary. The only way to drop a can, turn a can into a can't, Lord Jesus, a can't to a can is to drop the T and get it done. That's it. And it sounds so big, but if you speak positively into the situation, I'm going to do this. I can do this. I am capable of doing this. Speak positive affirmation into your life, and you will see positive things start to happen. You got all these people, I want. What are you doing for that want? You got to stop wanting and start going to get. Okay? Understand, this don't complain, just change. I know that there are several of you saying, oh, why won't this go away? Why can't I just get past this one hurdle? If I could just get past this one thing, and it all starts right up here. You haven't told yourself you can get past it, so you ain't gonna get past it. You know, I talk about Miss Winnie a lot. I do, and I do in a lot of my shows, because she's a very positive and powerful person. But the understanding in this, with age comes wisdom. Now that's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement, right? With age comes wisdom. And as you grow, you're going to get older, and you're going to get that wisdom. Now, the question is, great comment, Miss Wilson, right there. Yes, inspire your future self. Encourage yourself. Sometimes the hardest thing is to get past the negative. There is always a way to do things. You just have to find it. That's the way to get past failure right there. You know, I look at something and I love this because Kyle said it. You know what? You may not take the same path that I take to get where you need to go. Sometimes you got to find your own way to get there. Cindy said this. It may not be the way everyone else does it, but it can be done. And notice the word I said right there. And Cindy said, it can be done. It may not be the way everyone else does it, but it can be done. Let me give you a perfect example real quick. Think about this now. Y'all stay with me. Anybody here like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Okay. What does a peanut butter and jelly sandwich start with? Now watch this now because I'm going to get y'all. Be careful. Some people will say it starts with peanut butter and jelly. Some people will say it starts with banana. Some people will say it starts with jelly. Some people say it starts with peanut butter. Some people will say it starts with bread. Some people say you put the jelly on first. Some people say you put the peanut butter on first. Understand, you got to find your own way. And sometimes you got to modify it and find what works for you. Grandmaster Jack Dart, 8th degree black belt, man knows what he's talking about. It modified, find what works for you. Sometimes the knife don't work. Reach your hand in that jar and spread that peanut butter with your fingers. But you better wash your hands afterwards, though. Come on now. Siobhan said this. You mentioned that with age comes wisdom. That is true in most cases, not in all. But for the purpose of the context of this conversation, I can flow with you. Yes, ma'am, you can. Come on, girl. But see, you can have intelligence and you can have wisdom, but it doesn't mean that you use it. A lot of times our biggest problem is us. Sometimes we got to get the heck out of our own way. Understand that. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the biggest problem we face is ourselves because we won't get out of our own way. 33 minutes and 3 seconds, somebody just dropped the ball and went, oh my God, I see what he's talking about. You wonder why you can't get past something. It's because you won't get out of your own way. I love Miss Siobhan. I got to be real. When Miss Siobhan got something on her mind, I sometimes she'll put a Facebook post up and I'll go read it 3 or 4 times. Miss Wilson, the same way. She put a post up about, I think it was about a week ago, about if you want something in your life to change it. She inspired me to do this show. Seriously. I read that post about 15 times. That is the best Facebook post I have ever heard in my entire. And you know why? Because people get sick of negative Nancy all the time. People get sick of hearing, I can't get past this, and my legs hurt, and my arms hurt, and I can't do this, and if only God would work this out, and I got to go to the doctor 12 times. I just got married, and I got to, but look, you just said something. You just got married, but you ain't thankful. Okay? You want to talk about all the bad stuff, but you can't talk about the good stuff that makes you happy. You can't talk about the peanut butter and jelly of the situation because you're too worried about the stale bread you got to eat it on. Sometimes you just got to be tough and get through it, people. You got to celebrate the milestones in your life, no matter how big, no matter how small, because eventually it all adds up. Siobhan starts her day at 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning. And every day, it's the same thing. She goes to the gym. She works hard. She eats vegan. She don't eat no meat. I mean, just look. I'm telling you, and I'll say this out loud on the air. When I got mad because I thought she was saying something against me, she wasn't. She was trying to help me out. Okay. So once we reconnected and I realized where she was going, there's a difference. There's a difference. It's all in the perception of what you're doing. That's 99% of this episode right here is not just about CP, folks. This is everyday life. There are all types of people in this world. All types of people. Small people, round people, flat people, yellow people, brown people, white people, black people. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters what's inside your chest, what's inside your mind, and what you put out. I love this right here. Woo! Miss Wilson just hit a home run. Watch this. You can't make goals and not want to change things to get there. Change comes with goals. Good God Almighty, live on the Disability Global broadcast. I got to read that again. Made me shake in my chair, made my liver quiver. Lord have mercy. You cannot make goals and not want to change things to get there. Change comes with goals. Do y'all understand how powerful that is? That's this whole show right here. She just took everything I said and put it in one statement. That's mama right there, y'all. That's it. Right there. I may leave this comment right here up for the rest of the show. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you start going on the right path, there comes a time of realization when you're going to realize when you're moving forward, you're not in the same position you were. Okay? When you're going through and taking classes and cleaning your house and getting dressed and buying a hat and buying a piece of jewelry and making yourself look good and feel good, you're going to realize you're not in the same place you were in before. You're not in the same mindset you were before. You are not in the same position you were before. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You can't make goals and not want to change things to get there. Change comes with goals. Listen to this. She hit another one. With goals come commitment, and you have to ask yourself, are you ready for the goals you set? It is worthwhile, or is it worthwhile? Is it achievable? So are you ready? Shoot, I should have let Miss Wilson do this show. Daggone. Y'all ever seen just somebody just say something and you just kind of go back for a minute? Your mouth drop, you get a little bit of slob on this side, and it hangs open for a little bit of fly in there, fly back out. See, that's what just happened. Because it's the realization. See, she's on the same page I am because she realizes where I'm coming from. But why I'm doing this is for you sitting there saying, I don't get it. I don't know what I got to do. You got to get up off your keister and put your plan into action. Uh-oh. Siobhan got one too. I agree with Mr. Weena. As persons with different disabilities, no one's face is more, I believe that's, no one faces more adversity than we do. Accept the things you can't change. Heck, embrace those things and focus on the things that you can. I'm going to say this on top of it right here, Siobhan. Stop worrying about what you can't control. If you spend most of your time worrying about the things you can't do nothing about, you're not going to get anywhere. Stop it. Stop it. You got to take a look at what you got. And sometimes you've got to realize how to be thankful for what God has given you. And let's start with one thing. Did you wake up this morning? Did you take breath into your body? Hello, that's a blessing, folks. Don't get me preaching in here. We can go to church now. I'm telling you. God gives us things that we take for granted. Understand what I'm saying? And this is not about just don't complain and change. You have to change. You have to want to change inside. You got to clear all that stuff out. You got to edit out the closet, the bedroom, the trash compactor. You got to go through your house and clean your stuff up. And I'm talking about this house right here. I'm talking about your heart. I'm talking about your mind. I'm talking about your soul. You got to get yourself right. You got to get yourself right in order to move forward. Accept what you can't change and go after what you can. Let me just put this up here real quick. Miss Winnie needs to write a book. I'm just saying. I'm gonna just take a minute to let that marinate. Okay, we gonna move forward. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. And you have to understand your journey is yours, not no one else's. Don't worry about what others say. In the last 20 minutes of this show, that's what I want to talk about right there. It's amazing. Miss Winnie knew right what I was going for. I said a word. We spend so much time. We spend so much time worried about what others think. Miss Winnie said, don't go there, DJ. Look, we spend so much time worried about what others think. Okay? But at the end of the day, who are we responsible for? Who are we responsible for? Ourselves. Unless you got children, understand. Who are we responsible for? It doesn't matter what other people say. Heck, it doesn't even matter what other people do, because at the end of the day, we are accountable for ourselves. In everything that I do, I can get all the advice I want from all the people that I want. And I've said this before, Miss Winnie said it before, everything ain't for everybody. Understand, everything is not for everybody. And that right there is the God's honest truth. And we have to realize as people, just because somebody else does not embrace your vision does not mean your vision is not clear. Let me say that again. Just because someone else does not embrace your vision does not mean your vision is not clear. You don't have to convince me of your vision. You know why? Because it's your vision. It doesn't have to be mine. I'm going to either be with you or not. And this in-between stuff, I kind of see where she's going. I kind of see where he's going. I kind of get, no. Stop right there. You either do or do not. There is no try. Understand, you have got your vision. It is yours. It doesn't have to be for everybody else, because what God sees, everybody else might not have caught up with yet. Y'all with me? Well, we going to church a lot this afternoon. Let me tell y'all. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this right here. I ain't no preacher, but you know what? I'm just saying. Sometimes God lays something on your heart. You got to get it out there. What are you doing your change for? Don't do your change for everybody else. Don't change for everybody else. Change for you. Because you're the one that's got to walk or roll or hop or scoot or get through your path. Because ain't nobody else going to do it for you. Stop waiting to be handed something on a silver platter like you owed something. You got life, and you got a choice every God-given day to make a difference. So why not start now? Why not stop complaining and start changing what you don't like about your life? You don't like the house you're living in? Start looking for another one. But you got to research. You got to put effort. You got to do the work. You got to budget it. You don't like the car you're driving? Claim another one. Claim it. Go out there and say, this is my car, but you got to work for it. You got to work for it. And you got to be true to yourself. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to drop another ball real quick. Drop another bombshell. You can't hide what's in your heart. You can't hide what's in your heart. You can try. You can try to convince everybody different. You can't hide what's in your heart. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. And you have to set a deadline for your goals. And everything else you seek after. Yeah, don't draw them out. Don't draw them out. Set a deadline. And be confident in that deadline. There are short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Write them down. Look at them. Place them where you can see them. Put them on the bathroom mirror. Put them on the closet door. Paste them on the back of the couch. Write them down on an index card. I will tell you the best experiment that I've done thanks to Miss Wilson. I'll tell you right now. Excuse me, let me read this real quick. Siobhan said this. And honestly, sometimes you just have to cut those negative people off and focus on your end goal, because people will wear you out with their negativity. Yes, they will. I have said 1,000 times, Miss Winnie has said it as well. Sometimes you got to clean out your closet. Sometimes you got to weed out your garden. Sometimes you got to take out your trash. And I'm not talking about what's in your house. I'm talking about what's in your life. Understand what I'm saying? That's not just about housework, people. We're talking about life changing. And it all has to start somewhere. If they ain't with you, they got to go. Put them in the bag and give them a throw. That's it. I'm just saying. Sometimes there are people that want to suffocate you with their negativity, and they will drag you down into their own. I'm just saying. They will drag you down into their own stuff, and before you know it, you got more negativity piled on you because you worried about somebody else. Stop. Start focusing on yourself and what you need to do. I want to say this before we get too close. You want to know one of the easiest ways to start your day? I do want to say this too. One of the greatest experiments that we did, Miss Wilson had us take a box and get an index card. And at the end of each day, we wrote our thought, what we were thinking, what we got out of that day. What was something that we took from that day? Do you know, to this day, I started that in 2019. I started that in 2020. To this day, I do it every single day. I have a box full of index cards. If you want to know one of the best ways to start your day, and great comment, Jed, I'm going to get to that in just a second. One of the best ways to start your day: stand up, sit up, get up, look in the mirror, and say something positive about yourself. if you start your day off in a positive way, it is very difficult to turn that day into negative. The only way that day is going to turn into negative is if you let it. Let me read this comment that Jed left right here. Sometimes you're stronger sometimes you're stronger independent alone than in a crowd of people that don't know what you're capable of. I love that. That is well said. Now, he's not saying you are alone. He's saying sometimes you don't need a crowd of people to tell you what you need to do because you are capable. And that's something that's you got to take inside of here and believe. Miss Wilson has said it. I've said it. You got to believe in what you got. Don't just hold it. Don't just hug it. Don't just squeeze it. You got to embrace it. You got to believe it. You got to go for it. You got to dig for it. Life ain't easy. Nobody said life is easy. You got to go for what you want. You got to work for it. You got to try hard. Sometimes you're going to hit a bump in the road, but what don't kill you makes you stronger. Plain and simple, folks. If you want something, go for it. If you want something to change in your life, stop talking negatively about it and change it. And most of all, if you don't want somebody to comment on something on social media, for heaven's sake, don't put it up there. That's how more of this bull crap starts. Somebody put something on social media that they shouldn't be putting on social media in the first place, and all at once, then they wonder why somebody's saying something. If you don't want your stuff to be commented on, don't put it on social media. Because when you do that, you give people a license to say something about it. I want to say this before I end the show today. We are all capable of great things. Do not put limits on yourself before you even try. Have you ever thought about starting a blog? Thought about starting a YouTube? Thought about starting an Instagram? Thought about starting a Facebook to do something positive? Getting emotional, y'all. Y'all got to understand where this is coming from. This is all part of what Miss Wilson has done for me. Y'all don't understand. It's I literally, this just hit home. I'm being real. Give me a minute. You know, it only takes, you got to start somewhere, okay? But don't box yourself in. You are capable of so many things. You are capable of so many great things. Don't just get comfortable with one. I've done that. And had it not been for that lady right there putting a fire under my butt and making me realize, getting me mad. Sometimes you got to get mad to see where you're at. Sometimes you need that fire under your butt to push you where you got to go. But see, Miss Wilson ain't had to push hard. All she had to do was nudge. I've told this story before. I was so comfortable working with my CP does not define me. That's all I wanted. I was comfortable, man. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just doing my CP. That was it. She said, make it a brand. Start an Instagram. Start a Twitter. Do a blog. I want you to do all of this. You're capable of great things. I looked at Miss Wilson like she lost her mind. I said, Miss Wilson, how in the world are you going to tell me how I got time for all this stuff? I ain't got time for all this stuff. What are you talking about? She said, yes, you do. And I got so mad that night I worked on my Instagram for 4 hours. I couldn't get it to run right. I couldn't get it to work right. I couldn't get it to go right. But you know what? I kept working on it. I did not stop. I did not stop. But you know what I realized? I didn't do it for her. I did it for me. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I didn't do it for her. I did it for me because I am capable of great things. But you know what? So are you. So are you. You have to get out of your comfort zone, guys. Stop letting other people tell you what you can't do and start doing what you can. Understand that you are a lovely, great person that is capable of changing your life and changing somebody else's. Change your life today. Make a statement for yourself and believe in what you want and go after it. Go after it. You got to do things for you. Stop doing stuff for everybody else. I got one more thing I want to read out loud, and I'm gonna read this. We spend so much time doing things for other people that we forget to focus on ourselves. And at the end of the day, we wake up cold and alone and we wonder why. When we focus on everyone but ourselves, we forget our most important thing. If we cannot be focused on ourselves, we cannot discipline ourselves. We cannot learn from ourselves. We cannot make ourselves into better people because all we spend time doing is worrying about everyone else. From now on, don't seek what everyone else wants you to do. Pray about what you want. Seek God and know that His plan that He has set for you is the path that you need to be on. I want to say this to you today. My CP does not define me on episode 69 is not a brand because Miss Winnie asked me to do it. My CP does not define me is a brand because I made it happen. Not by myself, but I did choose to do what I had to. Understand, if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. But that does not mean you are alone. Guys, I'm going to end it with this. If you want to connect with me, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please contact me at carterdj85@gmail.com. You can contact me on YouTube. My CP does not define me. Chairmaster Games, Worth the Wait, Cooking with DJ Carter. Instagram, my CP does not define me. My blog, carterdj85@wix.com. My Twitter, my CP does not define me. And my newly started TikTok coming up today, Worth the Wait on TikTok. Y'all get ready because I'm about to blow the roof off this joker. As I always say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. You can catch me every Wednesday for My CP Does Not Define Me, every Thursday for the Talking Topics with the Three Amigos. You can catch me every week for DJ's Thoughts, DJ's Poetry Passion. Guys, I'm out here. I'm doing this thing. I'm making it happen because the only way I'm going to do it is to start somewhere, and so can you. You guys take care. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for being part of the show, and we'll see you next week for episode 70 of My CP Does Not Define Me.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. As always, you can catch us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on the Disability Global Broadcast and Facebook Live. If you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, we post all of the show videos in our My CP playlist. I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. And if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week.